Welcome to Bonus Action, a tabletop podcast. Join us on a Dungeons & Dragons journey through the maelstrom continent of Edax on the world of Gloria. Our daring adventurers will uncover the mysteries of the New World and reveal stories of their past. Let's meet the cast.
Hello, I'm Druten. I am playing Rizaren Inarek, the half-elf paladin.
Hi, my name's Eric. I'll be playing Bartleby Mriffindor, the human warlock, who's got a little bit of a secret behind him.
I'm Tim, and I'll be playing Vale Luckall, a failed wizard turned adventurer.
Hi, I'm Sean. I'm playing Fenrir Oakenshield, a monk halfling who really wants to be a dwarf.
And I'm Rich, also known as Walnuts, and I will be the DM for all of you in my homebrew world of Caloria. And we're back! Or we're live, or whatever. We're here playing Bonus Action again, guys. It's a new session for us. It's only been 2 weeks for the rest of you.
I have to poop. We need a minute.
Okay. Alright, guys, we'll be right back. And,
I'm just kidding. I'm good. I'll just absorb it.
Okay. We're gonna just get right into it, but before we do, I want to remind all of you guys that we do have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/onequest. I got it. If you
It's so hard. Did you say Patreon/OneQuest or Patreon.com/OneQuest?
Patreon.com.
I didn't hear the .com. I was just confirming.
Well, we go to patreon.com/onequest.
Yeah,
and what do we get?
Well, if you subscribe to, the second tier, I believe. I'm looking at the producer. If you subscribe to the $10 tier, you can get all of the episodes each month together in one package.
Hey!
I got it. I should maybe know what I'm trying to promote myself.
Should I?
The $5 tier, you get them the Friday before they air. I got it.
Look at you.
I got it.
It's almost like you know what you're talking about.
I need to write this down and actually memorize it.
No.
But no, I don't. This will be how we'll do it from now on.
Way better format.
But
I brought a microphone this time too.
Oh shit!
Oh, no.
Forgot about this.
We should get a teleprompter.
You got it all right. They go up every other Friday on
Okay.
Patreon, and every other Monday they go on free feeds.
There you go. And with that, maybe we could just get right on into playing. So last we left off, you guys were headed out on your first expedition, and you were accosted by some bestial-looking goblins. Proving to be a lot more difficult than the normal goblins, you're able to beat them in combat, but just barely. You push on your travels towards the mines, and once arrived, a voice shouts out to you from within a barricaded entrance, informing you. You inform them that you're from the Shao Point, and Chief Naldrith sent you. They allow you entry to inform you of the situation at hand. There were goblins attacking from one end, and the problem is there's also Duergar on the other end. And so they're fending a war on both fronts. The goblins are being quite relentless. Duergar, probably every couple of days, they're sending a troop. And they explain that the goblin attacks are increasing, and it's just a matter of time before they're either forced to leave the mines or otherwise they'll likely be killed. The miners, you see, they all looked exhausted. Although they are strong, they aren't fighters. A more familiar-looking goblin named Elder Flintsbane explains to you that these feral goblins took over his hovel, and that if you were to remove them from the premises, the attacks should stop. But during this time, your meeting got interrupted by a knock on the inner mine door, and a few Duergar arrived demanding that surface dwellers leave, and that anything underground is property of them and their god. Unable to reason with them, you quickly dispatched them and tried to come up with a plan. You decided that rather than fighting both armies, to convince the goblins to enter the Underdark and fight the Duergar somehow. So the next morning you headed out to where Elder Flintsbane tells you where his hovel is, and when you arrive, you reach this nice plot of land overlooking a seaside cliff. There are some crops growing, and crude fences made around these. These crops are barely just taller than the goblins and the gnomes. And so you start moving forward. You raise some suspicion as you see a couple of these feral-looking goblins shouting at some of the normal-looking goblins. And the two gnomes hide in the crops. The two regular-sized people just walk up, and you are eventually able to convince them that there are some creatures and beasts and demons or something taking over the other goblins. And that you need to speak with their leader, to try to get aid in stopping these creatures. So eventually the leader does arrive, listens to your basic plea at the moment, and waves you to follow for all of you. All of you except Fenrir, who's still hiding in the crops.
We're halflings.
Halflings, sorry. Not gnomes. My bad.
Wow.
My bad. I am sizist.
All little people look alike.
Yeah, we all look the same to you.
Damn.
I can't see what you look like because you're so short.
He doesn't see size.
Ouch.
But yeah, that's where we left off last session. Fenrir, you're being sort of left in the dust of everyone walking within this small caravan. The leader is being, if you recall, carried on a chair by some of the regular goblins, and then the ferals are walking around it, and they're leading you in towards this larger inner tent in the middle of this hovel built like shanty town type thing. What do you do, Fenrir? I guess.
Can I stay close to them while still hiding?
Go ahead and roll a stealth check.
All right, let me see. I got an 18.
18. All right. So you, being a sneaky boys, you find a clearing and opening to go out of the crops and start ducking in between like alleyways. You actually, would you go into like a house and hide in like a building, not a house, but would you hide inside like a shed or anything like that, or would you just be sticking to the outside into the shed?
Sticking to the outside in the shadows.
Okay. And so you can easily do that. You are tracking behind your, what's your passive perception? 10 plus your perception bonus.
13.
13? Alright, so you'd be able to tell if there's any goblins coming towards you or whatever, and so you're able to find a good path to just stick and be a sneaky boy and stay behind them all. And be in the shadows. Yeah, that's, those rolls, yeah, you should be able to easily do that. The rest of you, you're being ushered forward. Any sort of conversating or anything that's going on between you, or are you just following in step?
I would think we would just kind of be following. I don't really know that there is too much to be saying right now.
Well, what's our actual plan here?
I don't have one.
Okay. All right. That sounds appropriate. Little one? Big one?
Find out what they want, and find out why they want what they want. Okay. And convince them that the Duragar are stopping them from getting it.
Okay. No, this is effective. Okay. I'll follow.
And so as you guys are walking and talking, whispering, you, a couple of the goblins are walking. There's a few behind you, a few to your side, and they take note of your talking, but don't really pay too much attention to it. And you can see surrounding you right now is a group of about 8 ferals plus the chieftain himself, or the chief himself. And they bring you into probably the only really well made and maintained building in this entire hovel. It's a large tent that is slightly taller than the regular sized people. And it looks grand for anyone who's goblin height or smaller. So, we had some oh my god.
Testicle difficulties. Yes.
Just keep it going. Keep it going. We had some technical difficulties. We're gonna reevaluate just a little bit, restart so if I'm repeating myself.
Did you just say reviolate?
Reevaluate.
Do you want to redo that whole thing?
I mean, I don't care. We're not professional.
Yes, we are.
But
not with that attitude.
If I repeat myself, just, it's because we had a lapse of technology for a second.
Make sure you point it out in the comments if he repeats himself.
Absolutely.
Get in the comments, point it out, let everyone know when it is.
Timestamps.
Yeah.
Please.
And call us losers or whatever. I don't know.
I'm not a
1-star
loser.
review us. It's fine.
And then give us $5.
But anyway, you are entering into.
With more donations, we would be able to afford a better computer.
This is super true.
Absolutely true.
So subscribe to that $10 plan.
Heck yeah.
So you are entering into the largest building in this shanty hovel town. It is the best and well built. As I said, it's a little bit taller than the normal sized humanoids. Those of you who are around the height of a goblin, you have no problem getting in and fitting. Those of you who are taller, you have to duck your head. And they usher you into this. You see the leader jump down from his chair and he walks in. The regular goblins are then forced to and just stand there with this chair on their shoulder outside of this building. The other ferals follow in with the rest of you, and as you enter into this room, they position you right in the center. It's this big square room. There is a small fire pit that is behind you, and then there's a small fire pit that's going to be behind where the leader is going to be sitting. As you look around surrounding them, you see a handful of normal-looking, familiar-looking goblins that just are very much worse for wear and like a lot skinnier than you're used to seeing goblins and more dirty than you're used to seeing goblins. You see the ferals standing around them. You see the ferals standing around them, and just like kind of barking at them and getting them to usher away. You have about, at this point, if you look and take a guess, you have roughly a good 30 feral goblins, including the captain, in this room just standing around. And the captain, he looks towards you all and is like, "Go ahead. What is it you need?" I don't remember what the voice was that I had for him last time we played, so this is now his voice.
That's okay, I don't either.
I do. That wasn't it.
I know.
Try again.
Go ahead. This is what you need.
Try again.
That was definitely not the voice, but I like it.
Unbelievable.
But he's
Immersion ruined.
I leave it to the big one as our parlayer of information.
So why have you been attacking the other goblins?
We're not attacking the goblins. We just took this for ourselves. They're now working for us.
Okay. Well, but why?
Our lands were taken by something bigger, and if that's allowed, we took something from something smaller than us.
What took from you?
And when you ask that, the rest of them, you hear them kind of like murmur, like they're talking about the creature. They're talking like they're talking about the beast. And he looks and he's like, "This was a large, giant beast. Was able to spit lightning. Furry, not fun."
A furry, lightning spitting creature beast.
Yes.
That was big and okay. Do you think it might have been in league with creatures beneath the mountains?
I don't know that there was...
Did it look mountainous dwelling, perhaps?
We used to wander near the mountains.
So perhaps it came from within the mountains, protecting its own territory or the territory of its masters.
Yes.
Mayhaps you should take the fight to them instead and claim their lands for yours.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check on that. Or deception, whichever one you think is... I mean, you're trying... It's kind of both, because you don't know the truth for sure, but it's... Yeah, you get to pick persuasion or deception.
I rolled an 18 deception.
Nice. So he thinks for a second. He's like, what creatures do you know to be coming from mountains? We We wanted a cave for ourselves because we want somewhere dark.
Dark is great. Dark is definitely not scary or terrifying, and definitely not a place I try to avoid. So, yes, they're menish, shorter, I think. I'm not quite certain. I kind of hid when we fought them last. They're frightening. You should take care of them completely, though. I'm sure you can handle it very well. You have quite an army with you. I think storming the keep and just tackling it all would be fine. Help me, Vale. Anything.
Yeah, what he said?
Perfect. That's my hype one. So yes.
I think he might actually be afraid of the dark.
He looks and he's like, what does this storming mean? Why would I be raining upon a keep?
So there is a mine. You have some of your men have been there.
Yes, dark cave.
Yes. There is a group there that mean you no harm, including some of the other goblins who used to live here. They don't mean you any harm, but there are then another group further inside that wish to kill you. If you go attack them, we will assist you, and then if you...
From afar.
Yes, at least him, from afar. And then if you are willing to work with the others, they will leave you to be deep inside the mines as they mine for the ore.
Roll a persuasion check.
7.
Son of a bitch.
This is still coming off of your thing as well, but it's still, 7's not that great. He looks and he's like, but why? He thinks for a second and he's like, but if I could take this cave from these creatures that you're speaking of that are shorter than normal men, but about as tall as me, why would I want to live alongside those who are also living in that cave?
Because you would create an alliance by doing so.
They will help protect you from anything coming back to try to take the cave from you.
And lightning beasts would be felled much more easily if you could throw some other fodder at them.
When you work with others, it's a lot less likely that your territory is claimed.
And we pause for a second. Fenrir, what are you doing?
Am I able to hear all this?
No, you're outside. You're still outside. You have not been able to get in.
Okay.
You were able to follow them and stay in the shadows to get to the central area, but you have not yet tried to get inside.
Okay, I want to try to sneak inside.
Is
that possible? Or is it like there's people everywhere, so I might as well just stay where I am?
I think there's guards posted and stuff too.
There are a couple of guards posted at the front door.
Is there a back door?
There is a back door. There's a couple of guards posted by the back door as well.
Oh, okay.
You look around and you do see some plumes of smoke coming out from above, like a chimney. It's a big, and this is not something I explained to you guys. The roof goes up and then creates a big smokestack, essentially. So the two fire pits that you guys have, the smoke goes up and feeds into a angled roof into a big circular smokestack. So you do see some smoke coming out from the roof of it. And there are some windows, but they're not that high up. They're maybe like 3 feet, 4 feet up.
Mm-hmm.
But they're all like just barred windows. They're not like, there's not like close. They don't close and open. It's just, the wind easily flows back and forth through them.
Okay. And I can't hear what's going on.
No, it's, we're
all whispering.
well, no, but it's, you're because you're being a sneaky boy, you're like, so these, basically look at it like my dice tray is the central area that they're in, and then there's like a road path, and you're off the road on the other side.
All right.
Because you're still staying in the shadows and staying out of sight. So, like, you can hear murmurs, but they're not really shouting, they're just talking with each other. So it's...
let me try to sneak to the window to hear what they're saying.
Okay. Go ahead and let's do another stealth check on that. Because you are sort of stepping out the shadows and moving close in.
I got an L1, but I get to re-roll it.
Nice.
9 plus 6, 15.
15. So you see the two guards, and then there's like one patrol. There's two patrolling, but they're opposites of each other. So it's like every maybe couple moments you see one walking around. And you look around, you circle the place a little bit, and you do find a spot with a little bit of shrubbery that you can go and sneak into and like be right under the window. And you do start to hear this better.
Okay.
So as he's doing that and he sneaks up, you do hear them telling them like working together is better than working alone. And you hear the goblin chief. He looks and he's like, well, if you really think these creatures are going to attack us, then I guess there's no other option than for us to go attack them. If they're what happened to my compatriot who was possessed, then we have to go deal with them.
Exactly.
How many of us do you think you'll need?
How many are you willing to offer? Strength in numbers.
And the more likely to make further grounds.
Either persuasion from both of you or help for
help.
Reserve.
A 22.
Okay. That was adorable. Jeez.
That was a good time.
The dog went and touched Drew's chest.
Good job.
Yeah, I was like, that's a good one. And he looks and he's like, well, strength in numbers, then you'll need me and you'll need us. And so he gathers, he whistles, and the, I think I said there was about 30 inside. They all group up together. And he's like, we'll leave a few to guard our land, because this will also be our land. But if we can have if we can have dark lands and outlands, that'll behoove us. But all of us should be able to do it. And so he looks, you'll have me and them. And he points to the 30 behind him.
Great. That should be more than enough.
Yes.
Well, it's, at this point, I believe it's a little bit closer to late day. It's not quite nightfall yet, but he looks and he's like, how long till we get to how long's the cave? And one of the others is like, about a day and a half. I'm not going to do a voice for a one-off goblin.
Why not? That was a voice.
I know.
Is that one-off goblin? Or is that our new contact person?
Exactly.
Hey, one-off goblin. How you doing?
One-off Joe.
One-off Joe. One-off Joe the goblin. He's missing a finger and a toe on each hand.
Okay.
One off.
One off.
Poor guy.
And he's like, that's about a day and a half. If we leave in the morning, it shouldn't take us more than a day and a half to get there. We'll still have to rest tomorrow, whether we leave tonight or not, before we get there. So, yeah, it shouldn't be fine. And the chief is like, we will come fight. Let your people know. Or are you going to travel with us in the morning?
Travel with him, probably. We could travel with you. We should probably.
Do you have a place for us to stay?
I'm sure we can kick one of the other goblins out of their homes for the night.
Good, we definitely want that. Excellent. So yes, some provisions might be eaten. I have my own rations. I don't think I want to eat goblin food. Yes, just see us to wherever we can bypass the time, I suppose.
I hold up a bag of salt.
We will need that.
And he snaps to a couple of them goblins, and about 5 of them break off from the pack and usher the 3 of you out into the streets. You see them turn the corner as you're hidden in your little shrubbery, and you did hear all of the rest of the end of the conversation that they're going to join you. And he leads you, the 3 of you, to a shack, basically, at the edge of town. And 3 of them go in while 2 of them stay behind and watch you guys. And you just hear shouting in Goblin. And there's some ruckus, and you see a regular goblin thrown out onto the ground, and some more shouting, and a handful of other goblins, about 3 more, come walking out, and they just shout at them to go to the fields or whatever. And they usher you in to the shed. And as you, Fenrir, are you gonna follow?
Yeah, I'm gonna follow.
As you are following and sticking to the shadows, you notice that the 5 that ushered them to their little shed stick around on the outside. And you guys are ushered into this shack.
I want to be back with them. I want to So, is there any way I can sneak in? Or is there too many goblins?
Oh, so there's 2 in the front, 2 in the back, and one that's kind of circling around. You could probably...
Can I scoot in through a window?
Yeah, there would be some, like, crude windows with this one. Like, there's no barred windows. It would just be like a crude hole in the wall or something. We could do a roll of stealth and then roll an investigation.
Okay, so my stealth is 17 plus 6, so...
Okay.
I don't know. That's a lot.
That's very, very much.
And then an investigation?
Yes.
I got that 1 again. I'll re-roll it. 9 plus... I got a 9 on investigation.
So you do sneak up to this little shack, and it's barely big enough for the 3 of them. And you like sneak around, you watch the patterns, and you're able to look, and then you circle around and you look the other side, and it takes you about an hour to an hour and a half to actually find a spot that you can like kind of squeeze yourself into stealthily. But for the rest of you, over the course of the next hour, you've got these goblins kind of surrounding your home. Any sorts of conversations or whispers that are happening, anything that's going on. What are you guys doing for the next about hour and a half before sun sets? I think it's tonight.
Alarm spell with salt.
Okay.
So they're going to see me pour salt around the outside. I'm just going to kind of look at the goblins funny while I do it.
And they look at you funny while you do it.
I'm just I'm prepping for, the darkness, the evils, and just making sure that everything is dispelled away as best can be.
After you perform your nightly rituals and start to get ready to go to sleep, which, like, you're barely going to be able to lay on the ground parallel or side by side and fit in this place together. You start to hear some ruckus in a corner of a little shed and some shaking. And
something broke through. Is the salt together? Did you mess up the salt?
Did the alarm go off? I also would have asked too at some point here where it's like, if a large amount of time has passed, correct?
What's that? Yeah, it's been about an hour.
I would definitely wonder where Fenrir was at. So I would probably send Houdini out to look for him.
So you would have sent Houdini out. And, because... Well, roll a perception with Houdini.
Okay.
Your stealth is a 23, right?
Yeah.
I can't remember what the mod is for...
Oh, what was Houdini
owls.
an
I
owl?
think it's +2. I don't know for sure, though.
Probably +2. But it's with sight, so don't they have advantage? Because they're owls, or is it...
I could do that. I'll check after this.
Yeah.
Would it have advantage during the day?
It wouldn't find him. It's like a 13.
13. So, you Houdini flutters out, and you spook the goblins that are outside, because they're like, this bird just came out of nowhere. And he flies around for a bit, can't find Fenrir at all.
I would not have set the alarm spell up to have Fenrir be one of the people. I'd be like, I guess he's sleeping outside.
so if he would set off the alarm, is what you're saying? He would. So yeah, as this happens, and you hear this noise and this ruckus, and you actually, as you're entering in, you break a little bit of the wood and thatch that's holding this hut up a little bit. And you hear all this noise going, and you look back in the corner, your alarm goes off, and there's just Fenrir standing right there.
I look straight at you.
Before seeing him, I've already got the Eldritch Blast prepped. I hear the alarm, and I'm ready. Like, Eldritch Blast is, I can't be caught off guard.
Yeah.
So, Eldritch Blast is ready, and I'm ready to fire it at him.
Uh-huh.
How much time is in between that? Like, I hear an alarm, and I'm just launching in.
Well,
I'm also pissed at Vale because the salt ain't done.
Well, you don't
The salt wasn't done. I'm assuming the salt was ill-prepped.
You don't hear his alarm.
I don't hear the alarm?
No,
Okay.
the alarm is in his head.
Okay, so yeah,
So
I
you
don't
just
hear
hear
a
the
thing.
ruckus of, like, thatch and sticks and stuff breaking off behind you.
I'm just launching an Eldritch Blast then.
Alright, roll that at disadvantage because you're kind of throwing
I think
it
alarm
blindly.
goes off in everybody's head that I set it up for.
I don't know.
Let me check.
It's either mental or you make an audible one.
Okay.
It's one or the other.
So how would you
audible for sure.
Audible. Okay, so then you did hear the alarm.
That's way more obnoxious. I'm going to do audible every time.
Okay.
But that also means everyone hears it. Like, not just us. All the goblins around within 60 feet are going to also.
So good. Yeah, no, that sounds great.
Yeah, fucking go.
So what is, now I need to ask.
What is the sound?
What is the sound?
Like a car alarm.
It goes for 10 seconds.
Damn.
Alright. And so that goes off.
Yeah.
And you look back and you send it, like, just immediately?
Yep.
And you rolled at disadvantage, right? Because you're just kind of blindly throwing it?
I rolled two rolls. The first one was a 21. The second one was a 17.
What's your armor class, Fenrir?
17.
You can hit with an Eldritch Blast.
Can I take a dodge action?
I
can use a key. I can use a key point and use dodge as a bonus action.
Oh no, you would need it if it were a reaction, but it's
okay.
It's a reaction. He's reacting.
Dodge is a bonus action, which makes it. Doing that is just disadvantage on attack rolls against the person anyway. Right. So it's unfortunately you can't.
Okay, that's fine.
He was already at disadvantage as well, so
I can get rocked by this.
How much?
10 damage.
You take 10 points of force damage and you get knocked back into the
maximum roll.
And then you see that you
Not
hit...
maximum, it's a 1d10. Yeah. My bad. But either way, 10 damage.
You see that you hit Fenrir with your Eldritch Blast.
After firing, I look over, observing that it's Fenrir. I'm not sorry. You shouldn't have done that. Repair my salt when you have a moment, Fenrir. Okay. Clean yourself off.
I told you it works.
Alright, so I'm going to go begrudgingly fix the salt that I messed up. And that one was on me, guys.
I'll recast so Fenrir is included this time. Okay. I'm not changing it from being a car alarm.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I love that entirely.
So good.
It is going to be an audible alarm every time, unless someone specifies for me to do otherwise.
I always thought it was just mental. I didn't realize that it was an audible.
I think the mental one does just ping me, though.
Yeah, the mental is just you, but it pings you while you're asleep or not.
Yep.
I like the audible. It's super obnoxious and incredible.
Yep.
In situations like this, too. Like, if you're out in the wilderness and maybe, but no. This is, even out in the wilderness, because that's going to surprise somebody. Like,
for sure. Everyone's awake, and then also they're going to maybe run away if they don't want to deal with it.
So good. Yeah. So good.
So yeah, you all meet back up, and you're in this little hut.
There you are.
Hey, guys.
Now there's less room in here?
Is there anything I missed? Anything you'd want to fill me in on while I was hiding?
I will fill you in on the events that occurred.
Okay. Cool. Do you think they're going to be suspicious that there's now an extra one of us when we go back?
No, it's fine. We'll say that you were just trailing behind.
Okay.
We'll just say he was here the whole time. They don't seem that smart.
Too bright.
Yeah.
Do any goblins do anything hearing this call?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. In fact, there were 5 goblins directly around that house, apparently.
Now figure that one out.
I mean, so within 60 feet. So the 5 that are surrounding you, you are the 2 that are at the front. Instantly, once this happens, they you hear them ow! And turn in as you're having this quick conversation of catch me up, and they look and they see the 4 of you now.
Which one of you disturbed my salt? I'm absolutely going to gaslight them.
Roll an intimidation on that, I think.
Wouldn't it be deception? I'm straight up trying to deceive them.
Yeah, I guess it would be a deception.
Not great. Hold on. There it is. 11. It's not my fault they don't understand.
That's a natural 17. We're in for insight.
Yeah, they won that.
The one looks, and then the other one looks and looks down, and they're stepping over the salt line at the moment, and there's no disturbance, and they're like, what are you saying?
I have to reapply it now, because one of you disturbed it. I had to go around and fix it all.
Hold on a second. And I count 1, 4, 16, 4.
Yeah, we have the right amount.
And they look at each other. There's something's fishy.
Yeah, you for some reason are not remembering the right number. And it's okay, but we've had 4 the whole time.
It could be my rations. And I pull up some dried fish.
Persuasion with help.
All right. So that's a 21.
And they just look, and then the other 3 are now right behind them.
I'm going to point at one of them that comes around that corner. It was probably this one.
Doesn't alarm go off every time for as long as it's active?
Oh yeah. So it is going off for the other one.
But I was reapplying and including Fenrir, so I was assuming it was within that period of time, which is why it didn't go off. But that's not the case, then they would have set it off whenever they were stepping over it, and just constant car alarms.
Well, I mean, it's going, and they're getting shocked, and then you see in the distance a couple more start to close in, because this is a 60-foot range, and they all look at you, and they're just like, what?
Your goblins keep setting my alarm off.
And they step back for a second, and what's it, 10 seconds that it goes off?
Yes.
Yep.
So after they step back, and at the end of the alarm after the alarm that they had broke it, and it stops, and they're like,
I point at the salt and say, "See, you were setting it off
And
this
then-
whole time.
another one reaches over,
Why? No, stop it."
and it goes off and comes,
Oh
and
my
it
god.
goes back, and it just. All right, well,
Can you not do that?
sure. The boss, I don't know. This is weird.
Yeah, there were 4 of us the entire time.
Fine. He's like so lost because this noise is going out of nowhere, and another one, you see another one going like reaching slowly.
I Eldritch Blast that one.
Roll to attack. Are you like actually trying to hit that one, or are you trying to scare it?
Oh no, I'm hitting him.
Okay, roll to attack.
19.
I believe that hits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming to imagine.
9.
Just 9?
9 damage.
Damn, 4 points away from killing him. And
I could do that in one shot too.
You hit him in the chest, and he backs up. And just stares at you for a second.
I have more.
And then
you can stop, or I will not hesitate again.
The one that was talking is like, just leave it. It was loud. Just
Every time you cross it, it's going to go off.
Just tell the rest it's fine. And the one that you Eldritch Blast, like, kind of goes off. It has, like, a singe mark on its chest right now from the force hit.
Good.
And it starts to walk away, and you just hear shouting, like, it's all right. Everything's fine. Don't worry.
Am I turning into a bad person? I look at everybody else. Am I a bad person now?
No, you're just
Not at all.
level with us, finally.
So, yeah, that... yeah. You guys are now... I mean, not alone. There's still a couple circling around, but you are now alone in this little...
So these two play catch up, and they fix my salt.
Yeah.
Yes.
I guess Rosarin's probably just sleeping.
Yeah, what do you
usually does?
I mean, I don't feel like there's much else to do at this point.
Yeah, I mean,
Like-
we're not exiting the circle. We're just eating our
Yeah.
rations, waiting for the next morning so we can travel with the group.
Right.
Seems best.
No conversations to have between the rest of you? Any just stupid stuff? Anything you guys want to talk about? Nothing?
I have feelings. You guys want to talk about feelings?
No.
Well then, I suppose I'll just rock myself and sit in a corner or as close to a corner as I can find, and curl up in the fetal position and just rock back and forth until I pass out.
I am wondering why you're so afraid of the dark.
I am surprised you have feelings.
Most of
Kinda
those feelings
same.
are fear. Just a heads up.
Okay.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes there's hope. But yeah. So,
You're afraid of the dark?
well, it's not so much the dark, but what?
I look outside and then look at him. Yeah, it is.
No, it's what might and definitely is lurking in the dark is what's terrifying.
Which is?
All right, right now
You seem to know something we
I
don't.
reach for my coin just to see if I feel anything.
No, she's not really reaching out. There's nothing really.
So then, well, it's mostly her. Well, that's the best I refer to her as to her, and it's a little bit more comforting than a he. But it just, did you ever get that feeling like you're being watched?
Like somebody's watching me?
Yes,
And I have no privacy?
sort of. But it's like something that there's something at the corner of your eye just lurking. Always?
Nope.
I do. Because it's there.
Oh.
She's sort of what granted me my abilities. I'm not quite happy with it because I don't remember exactly what happened. I just woke up and here they were. But prior to that, she just sort of was there. Always.
Oh.
I don't know her intentions. I don't know why she chose me, but she did. And that's why I'm afraid. I don't know why.
I bet you a lot of the stuff in the dark is as afraid of you as you are of it.
Maybe. Perhaps. Perhaps not. I do have this cool fire thing now, so that might help. But, we'll see how things go as we progress. But for now, it's just... I don't know when she will or won't reach out or speak up or make a request or what that request might be. I just know that she's there. I know she's there. I feel her. So this stuff, I sought, ways to dispel the dark creatures, the spirits and whatnot. None of it worked. She still always lingered, but it's comforting, I guess.
Would you like a nightlight? And I pull out my sword and just put it on the ground.
Because you got the moon sword.
That is comforting, yes.
Okay, well, I can leave it out for you then.
I greatly appreciate that.
Sometimes I get scared when I wake up in the middle of the night and I thought I was taking a test and I'm not.
What kind of test would you be taking?
Like an exam.
Oh. But you're not taking it. So you just...
Yeah, that part's good.
A nightmare of having taken a test.
Yes.
What's so fearful of a test? It's just where it's on a paper.
Yep.
Interesting. Tests are easy.
I disagree.
Okay, fine. You know what? I'll let you have it. I have my, fears. You can have yours, as stupid as they are.
Bill just kind of looks down.
Other little one.
Yes.
What drives you?
I don't know yet. I'm trying to figure that out. That's why I'm here. Just trying to figure out what to do with my life.
Oh, gosh, another finding oneself. Ugh. That's okay, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
You're here to take over everything. We know that.
This will be mine.
We know. That's fine. You can have it.
And the ground is in this... The hut is just dirt, right?
It's like
It's
dirt.
not like floor, right?
It's like dirt
just
and muddy.
Jam the tip of the sword into the ground.
I was going to actually ask that as you guys were going to go to lay to bed, is if you're like sword and the stoning it into the ground.
More
and
or
stuff.
less.
Like bonfire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. Yeah.
Well, yeah, okay. So, right. You just wanted to... Does anything frighten you? Little one, big one, nothing. Lies. What about not having your servants with you to take care of you? That's not terrifying?
No.
Making your own bed isn't scary at night?
No.
You got anything that might scare him?
No.
Fine.
I haven't seen him afraid yet.
He's faking it. He has to be.
I don't think so.
We'll see. I have my eye on you, but just one. The other one's looking into the darkness. Little cross-eyed, but it works. Can't be cross-eyed. I have mad high charisma. I am sexy AF, bros.
And so as this little get-to-know-you chat session happens and comes to an end, are you guys going to be leaving, taking watches, or are you all just going to go to sleep?
Got the alarm.
You got the alarm?
We'll wake up to a car alarm.
You'll all wake up. Alarm. I have my alert. I think we're good.
Weirdest small handbell sound ever.
Yeah.
Carefully developed in my study.
All right. And so you all get ahead and find a nice little corner to either like huddle up into. Like it is not a good...
I nestle very closely to the sword.
Mm-hmm. You
with my own sword in hand as well. So I have my packed weapon in hand, or like very close to me, and then I'm huddled up very close to the moonlit sword.
I look at you and narrow my eyes, and then I go to bed.
Roll a. You know what? I'm just gonna. So 14. All right. You luckily throughout the night do not accidentally cut yourself on the sword while you're huddling close to it.
I would take even cutting. That's fine. It's fine.
Well, no, I was trying to figure out what to have you roll to see if you actually do it. I'm like,
I'm not like
dexterity.
cuddling with the sword. It's just close.
Like if you're rolling around or if
I
you have
don't
any
roll
night
around.
terrors, who knows?
I lay like a brick. I sleep like a brick. Vampire sleep. Arms crossed.
That's kind
With
of
the sword on your
frightening.
chest.
Sword downward. So almost vampire sleep.
That is definitely frightening. And so you all get a night's rest. It's not very restful because it's such tight, close spacing. But you all do get your full rest and everything. And the next morning, you are awoken to the battalion of 25, and then the 5 that were surrounding you, joining you, of goblins. And 1 goblin chief joining you. I know how I'm going to do these. If there's a combat, I've already figured out how I'm going to do these goblin combats. So it's a lot to track, but I'm going to cheese it for me and for my sake. There's only going to be 2 goblins in per fight, and if one dies, a new one comes in. That's how I'm doing it. I don't care.
So I rolled an 11 and a 15 on my 2 dice.
Sounds good.
Also, you said battalion, but my brain originally heard Italian. And I was like,
An army of Italians.
The Italian goblin comes up. Wait, what? Oh, battalion. Never mind.
You should make a goblin swarm.
I should make a goblin swarm. Oh, that would be but I thought about it earlier, and I'm like, if there is combat involving these goblins, it's going to be the chief and 1 other goblin, and if that goblin dies, a new goblin comes in and takes its spot, and I just have to keep track of how many goblins die during that time, which shouldn't be too hard. You were awoken, and the chief is like, all right, well, I guess we got to get moving.
Yep.
All right.
Let's go.
And then tosses a small, like, hempen, like, crudely made package to you guys, and it flops open as he throws it. Some rolls onto the dirt and mud, and there's just some meats. If you need to eat up, go ahead and cook and eat up, but we wake early. Some of us don't sleep.
I'll pick it up and use prestidigitation and clean it off. I will do that for everyone.
All right.
I mean, I guess I can't get sick anymore, so I could just eat it and not care.
It is clean. Now.
Is it? Well, it doesn't have dirt on it now.
It's clean, quote unquote.
Purify food and water? Don't you have that?
I don't know. I might. Nope, I do not.
They usher you into, even though you said that you would be behind them, they usher you into, lead at the moment. Cause they know roughly where to go, but they want you to show them the path and the direction.
That's fine.
And so who is going to lead the way back to the mines?
What's your nature?
Survival.
Your survival.
Oh, my survival is +5. I'll lead the way.
Okay.
I'll be right behind, though.
Right, go ahead and roll a survival. I'm assuming you're helping him with tracking. And
Sure.
Yep.
It's a 24.
20, absolutely.
I don't think he even really needed it, though.
So you take the map and you recall, because you just traveled here, and for the next process of the next day, you do make it good portion of the way towards the mine. You do recall that you could probably push it and get there today, but you would need to maybe rest by the time you get to the mine if you want to push it. The goblins, as you're traveling and you're going throughout the jungles, you can see and look back and you'll hear a lot of skittering and chattering with the goblins, and you'll see the occasional rabbit, or, I mean, I don't know if rabbits are in the jungle, but let's just say, like, an occasional small jungle creature just skitter by, and you hear a couple of the goblins go and fighting for it. and they're able to catch up to it and grab it, and you kind of just see them rip it apart, just start eating it, and leaving the entrails and anything that they don't eat just on the ground as they travel. They don't care that they make that they make an impression on this land. They eat and do whatever the fuck they want. Yeah, occasionally you'll see like a larger cat come, and a good 10 of them swarm this thing like they did before to you guys, and they're able to take it out no problem and just rip it apart and eat just right from it. But you do go a full day's travel without encountering anything deadly per se.
I keep Houdini very close.
I can understand that. That's an expensive spell to cast at the beginning of the game. Do you guys push forward? The goblin captain even looks like, we've got about a half day's travel, or do you think we could get there today? What do we do? You're leading.
Do you guys have any preference?
Should probably camp before we get there. So we're rested and we can just head right in.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
We're going to fight the, if we intend on fighting the big lightning beast, it might be beneficial to be well rested.
This is true.
Also, out of character, I don't want to have to explain why we have 30 goblins with us before we're trying to go to bed.
Well,
cool.
in the you did explain to them what your plan was, and you told them to kind of hide after you leave, like set up a place for them to stay. So, or not for the goblins to stay, but for the miners to be when you arrive. So you're like, we'll be back as soon as we can, but just have something set up. And I think they even told you, like, we're going to hide in this little where we sleep in a couple of days. So they know that the goblins are possibly going to come and be with you guys.
Okay.
And as another thing, as you were leaving, you do take note. You do have the 30 with you, and there's probably maybe about a good 6 or 7 left of the ferals with the rest of the goblins in the original town. There's not a lot of ferals left in the original town.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
we have taken the majority of their clan.
You said numbers, so he brought numbers.
I mean, we have no idea how many Durgar there are, so...
That is absolutely true. So you make camp. It's the goblins kind of spread out all around you, and they like have their own little like groups of 3, and they're situated around you, and they make sure that you and the chief are near each other, and they protect the exterior of you all. And the chief just sits back, grabs just some form of meat that he was given throughout the day, just starts chomping on it, still fur sitting on some of it.
Gross.
And you can see in his teeth, it's all just tar covered or plaque covered. And
I'm 100% not looking at him either.
yeah, it's disgusting. And he looks and he's like, so we've got the lightning creature. What other creatures are we gonna fight?
I explained to him what Durgar look like and how they can grow in size.
Okay. He's like, oh, that's something that I'm gonna have so much fun to fight. I like things bigger than me. Not that lightning beast. That lightning beast is rough.
Yeah, this one's only a little bigger than you.
But alright. This'll be fun. Get some sleep, you. We're gonna have a good time tomorrow. And you see him climb up onto a tree, and he finds a branch, and he actually like nuzzles himself up in like a kind of canopy like way up atop on the tree.
Normal camping procedures.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is it going to be a car alarm if it gets crossed, or is it going to be...
Sure is.
All right.
Hey, he wants to have all those goblins wake up and do whatever.
True. The night goes fairly uneventful.
Or does it?
Dun, dun, dun.
I was rolling to see if any goblins go missing throughout the night. As you awaken in the morning and start to clean up your tents, you do see a couple of the goblins are a little worse for wear, and there's one missing. You see if they're the ones they're covered in slightly fresher blood than the blood they were covered in during the travels. And they explain it like we encountered a creature that had big chompy teeth and took one of us, but we took him out.
Cool.
And they're like, well, lead the way. And Sleepy Boy Sean, you're gonna roll for survival to track
All
the
right.
rest of the way.
He's busy sleeping.
I know.
Maybe if this was
It's in the
not
name.
boring. I'm just
Well,
Yeah.
it's travel in D&D. It's the worst aspect of D&D.
montage.
I got an 18.
Okay. So you easily are able to continue pushing forward the right path, and within about 3 to 4 hours, you you reach the mines. And as you get there, when you were last there were some like spike battlements and stuff situated on the exterior of it. They have since been slightly moved, but still there. And the barricade, the makeshift barricade that was built at the entrance of the cave itself has been completely taken away. And there is no shout outs, no call outs to you when you are approaching. It's just an open cave.
Okay.
Interesting.
This could go one of two ways.
It seems as if it might have only gone one way. I imagine our friends, if they were our friends, I'm not sure, are dead.
Does it
Big
appear
man.
like that?
What?
Or
The exterior doesn't look any different besides just the spike battlements were moved a little bit over.
Houdini goes up. Do we
the
see
entrance
anybody?
was open, correct?
The entrance is completely, there's no barricaded entrance anymore, which before it was like a makeshift barricade, like doorway type thing. Houdini does what, go up in the air
just
or
a circle around.
circle
See
around?
if bird's eye view shows where they're at. If
Roll
they're there.
roll a perception.
Uh, 11. Not great.
No, Houdini does not see any people or any signs of people in the general area.
I shrug.
Do you guys enter into the cave?
Mm-hmm.
I'm behind most of them.
Okay. You lead into the cave, and these goblins now start to follow, like 2 by 2, essentially. There's the captain and a goblin, and they're following in behind you, because the cave entrance does funnel you a little bit. And as you walk in to your immediate left, where you remember seeing the sleeping area, is now a makeshift barricaded doorway. But it is completely dead silent in here. There are no torches or anything. It is pitch dark. But you do see the barricade leading to the other side where you fought the Durgar. That's still there. And you see a piece of paper tacked to the wall.
What does it say?
You go up and grab it?
I do.
You grab it?
Yeah.
So, I thought about just making the piece of paper, but the printer over here sucks, so I didn't want to do that, and I didn't have time to actually write that down. Where is it at? It's up here? Where'd I write it at? So it is, 2 sides. One side is a crudely drawn map of their mine system. It tells you how to get to the vein that collapsed into where the Durgar are coming from. The other side is it's written, quickly written, and it says, as soon as you pass, we will leave from the resting area. Close the doors behind you. We will not open it for anyone besides yourselves. On the barrel, next to it, there is a large chunk of gold and iron ore. 1 gold, 1 iron. If the pharaohs have all been cleared from the hovel, please take the gold as a notice. If there are only a few left, please take the iron. And if you're unable to determine how safe the hovel is, leave them both. Water Watcher.
Cool. Goblins can't read, right? As far as we know.
I mean, probably not.
Okay, good.
Out of character. I see no reason we couldn't just take both and leave.
True. Rizarin, do you care to share? What's happening? As I'm hiding behind a goblin, by the way.
Well, I pull the 3 of them aside and show them the note.
Okay. Then you're all able to quickly read the note.
Well, then, I guess we take the iron, yes?
That's what I was thinking, but I wanted to get group confirmation that we think 6 left is...
It's a smallish number, if handled correctly, so...
You recall that they were saying that they were able to handle between 3 and 13 goblins that would attack every time they would attack.
I don't remember that.
This is something that they had said last time, or at least something I had in my notes for them to say. I don't know if I actually did say it.
Probably did.
I
don't probably did, but that's fine. Well, then, you mind carrying that iron? That's
absolutely
excellent.
It's just a small chunk of. I mean, it still might be like 2 pounds, but it's like
to one of the little ones. Then it's like half their weight.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
And you grab the iron and you start to head into the mines. And that's where we're going to leave this session, right here.
But it's dark down there.
It is dark.
Do we have fires or something? I need a torch. Give me your sword.
I need the sword, but
give me your sword. I'll give you my sword. I'll give you my sword. You give me your sword.
Just stay with me.
No, this is not the same. It's not the same.
You also probably have torches in your pack that you can
I'm sure I do.
Or
but I want... Give me your sword. I'll give you my sword.
What kind of sword do you have?
This is cool, like, black bladed sword. It looks real cool. That's about it. It's a short sword.
Okay.
It's just a sword.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
So you summon your sword and give it to him?
It's already been summoned. He has my sword.
Okay. All right. And you have his?
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
Okay. I will resolve whatever this is going to be next time. Thank you all for coming and hanging out. As we said before, and Cobb will say in just a few moments, please check out our Patreon, patreon.com/OneQuest. And we will see you guys in about 2 weeks, or in a few moments if you are listening to this all at once. Hello.
Good morning.
Hi.
Hey.
If you would like to find more of our content, you can head over to www.one-quest.com, or you can always help us by supporting us at patreon.com/OneQuest. If you can't support us there with dollars, though, you can go to your favorite podcast platform, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, all those fun places. Rate us, review us, subscribe to us. Those things all help a whole bunch. You can also find us on social media. It's facebook.com/OneQuestOnline or @one_quest on Twitter and Instagram. Our YouTube channel is youtube.com/OneQuestVideo, and you can always send us an email to social@one-quest.com.